This now, it's that time of the year when the world, government and business leaders gather in Davos, Switzerland. Brand South Africa will attend the World Economic Forum this month. Thandi Tobias is leading the new Brand South Africa board as chairperson. Now, the board was appointed in November for a period of about 3 years. Tobias joins me now from our Cape Town studios. Mr. Tobias, thank you very much for making the time to talk to us. I want to explore three topics with you, beginning with the first one, Eskom. And energy supply is a major headache for the country, and it's unlikely to be resolved anytime soon. How do you sell South Africa credibly to investors abroad?
Good morning, and good morning to the viewers. Yes, Eskom in the current conjuncture is a concern. And we know that energy supply for any business is important, but we understand that the President has looked at this matter. That's why he commissioned a report on state-owned companies and state-owned enterprises to look at their efficacy and effectiveness. And Eskom has been on the radar for a very long time. And one of the important suggestions that has been made is the role of independent power producers to help put energy in our grid. So the issue of distribution and generation is currently being discussed by government so that there is a concerted effort to ensure that we bring all forces to participate in making sure that we bring energy to our people. So those matters are being attended to. I know for now it's frustrating for business and the people, but government has paid special attention to that. That's why the suggestion of independent power producers to help government has been put on the table.
The second topic I want to explore with you, Mr. Tobias, has to do with what you said when you were quoted at the weekend. And these are your words. Investors are interested in a stable country with stable economic policies. Here's my question to you. How do investors take South Africa seriously when our finance minister tells the country just a few days before he departs for Davos, because he's the one leading the delegation this time around, that he's frustrated at the lack of implementation of economic reforms?
Clearly, sometimes we will not share views on many other issues. But I believe there's always a platform to resolve challenges that different ministers and different stakeholders go through as and when they implement the South African policy. But investors, as I repeat it again, want a stable country, want consistent policies. Now, the South African policy has not changed. Therefore, implementation sometimes can bring challenges. So these matters will be resolved. Ministers will sit around, people and stakeholders will sit around and find a solution to the challenge. But it is important to have many voices, one message. Many voices, one message, so that we do not create confusion in the type of messaging that you want to give out there to investors.
Whilst on the topic of messaging, it's my final question to you. I want to talk about politicians and their utterances. The country's deputy president tells the nation that the boss of this country, the president, is being fed lies by Eskom, the leadership there, and by his own member of the executive, Pravin Gordhan. My question to you, do you regard that as negative messaging, or is it truth-telling? And how does it affect Brand South Africa?
Well, it depends where you stand and how you understand the message. In my opinion, the deputy president was defending the president, understanding that it's very important to provide accurate information to the head of state, so that as and when the head of state makes a presentation about the position of the country, it's accurate and fair. So it depends where you stand. For me, it's not to say whether this was right or this was wrong. For me, it's to put it in context, because our role is to make sure that the South Africa brand incorporated
is it negative messaging,
from a positive light.
That's my question.
So That's why I say it depends when you stand. To me, it's not for me to say you are playing a negative or a positive role. For me, it's to take a message and look at the positive part of it.
All
so
right.
my observation in this matter is that it had to do with making sure that people give accurate information.
All right, Thandi Tobias, thank you very much for your time.